CTV News with Matt Grillo.
Good evening. There was a lot of hype heading into Game 4 between the Canadiens and Sabres. The Habs looking to take a commanding 3-1 series lead, but it was Buffalo that would bounce back. The Sabres tying the series 2-2. Olivia O'Malley has more from the Bell Centre.
The Montreal Canadiens fall to the Buffalo Sabres, splitting the homestand here in Montreal. The Buffalo Sabres made a goaltending change ahead of the game. Netminder Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was given the start. He was helped out early by his team. The Buffalo Sabres got on the board first. The Sabres would have gone up 2-0. After review, the puck passed the line well in Jakub Dobeš's glove, but it was challenged by Habs coach Martin St. Louis and ultimately ruled goaltender interference, so it remained 1-0. Later in the first, Newhook tied it up and the crowd was loving it. The Canadiens have talked about how much the crowd and the atmosphere here at the Bell Centre is unmatched. During the game, the noise level reached 112 decibels twice. One of those rowdy moments was after Caulfield scored his second goal in 2 games. In the second, a weird bounce off the boards caught Dobesh off guard and ended up in the back of the net, tying the game. The Sabres added another goal to take the lead in the third, and despite some last-ditch efforts by the Habs, the visiting team went on to win the game.
Hey, the Canadiens are running out of time.
That sucks, honestly. I thought we played a pretty good game, obviously. There's some things that we can always get better at, but to see a fluke goal like that go in, it's obviously not the bounce you want.
We just couldn't find that third goal. We had a kind of average start and battled our way back to get the lead in the first, and then I thought the second period we controlled it pretty well. Just couldn't find that next goal.
Many fans had long faces while leaving the Bell Centre, but they say they remain optimistic as the series shifts back to Buffalo.
I just know that our boys will fight through. We got fast guys, you got guys that'll hit, tough guys, and I just believe that we'll get it done. Habs in 6.
Both teams will look to take a decisive 3-2 series lead in Game 5 on Thursday night in Buffalo. Olivia O'Malley, CTV News.
It was winner-take-all tonight between the Montreal Victoire and the Minnesota Frost. Both teams facing off in Game 5. The winner moves on to the final to play for the Walter Cup.
Here we go. Game number 5. Will it be an all-Canadian final or a rematch between Minnesota and Ottawa?
Using that home ice crowd, the Victoire opened the scoring off a face-off. Catherine Dubois gives Montreal a 1-0 lead. In the second period, Minnesota would tie the score at 1 thanks to Samantha Cogan. And that would set up for a big third period. On the power play, the Victoire captain Marie-Philippe Poulin gives Montreal a crucial 2-1 lead, and the Victoire would hold off the Frost, come away with a huge win. Montreal advances to its first Walter Cup final.
The last 2 minutes felt like 60 minutes, and the players who were on the ice were able to, keep an extremely offensive team from putting the puck in the back of the net. So I'm really proud of them. I feel really proud in this moment.
We knew it was not going to be easy. Obviously, picking Minnesota, 2-time champs the last 2 years, it was going to be a battle, and we did. And obviously, we're happy right now, but we're not done yet.
It's unbelievable, so it's just perfect. So go Victoire, we need it.
They play all together. It's really great to see. So it's no individual talent, just all of them pushing in together, and the fans. The ambience is amazing.
The Victoire now play the Ottawa Charge. Game 1 is set for Thursday at Place Bell. Well, residents and businesses in Rigaud and the western parts of the town of Hudson are being asked to reduce their water consumption. That includes a complete ban on all outdoor water use. As Denise Roberts reports, the ban could last until the end of summer.
The grass may be a little less green in Rigaud this summer. The city is asking residents and businesses to consume less water and has banned its outdoor use. It's not the first time they've issued this directive, but Mayor Charles Meunier says the situation worsened last weekend.
We saw a significant impact into our water reserves, and that's why we get back to them for ask for collaboration.
Rigaud's municipal water system relies entirely on groundwater. It also supplies some residences in the west end of Hudson. But that system has been under strain, Meunier says, after years of neglect. He says upgrades are needed, but right now they're trying to fix the leaks.
We actually have not only our employees, but experts also that are working underground now to find those leaks.
The ban includes everything from watering lawns to filling swimming pools and washing cars. And the mayor of Rigaud says it could remain in effect until the end of the summer.
We want to make sure that people will be able to have water for the priority usage in their houses.
Rigaud isn't the only community dealing with a shortage, according to a public policy analyst at Au Secours.
I think what we're seeing in Rigaud today is probably one of many more to come.
She says while Quebec has some of the highest consumption rates in Canada, a lot of municipal water is making its way to businesses and industry, and residents are forced to shoulder the blame. Still, she says drinking water should never be used to wash cars or water lawns.
So if you really want to use water for those uses, try to collect rainwater in a barrel and use that water instead.
Meunier says the city is using water deliveries to stabilize its reserves, and a new pump is being installed to increase capacity.
On the good way, okay? But we need to catch up with this backlog.
Getting to the source of the problem. Denise Roberts, CTV News.
The teachers who were accused of creating a toxic climate at Bedford School in Côte-des-Neiges have been fired. There are 11 teachers in all, and as Stéphane Giroux reports, they will no longer be allowed to teach in the province.
The ruling marks the end of the road for what authorities called a dominating clique at the Bedford School in Côte-des-Neiges.
Nous, on a procédé au congédiement des 11 enseignants.
The teachers were fired the minute we received the conclusions from the Ministry of Education's investigation, explains a school board official. 2 years ago, the radio station 98.5 FM revealed that 11 teachers who attended the same local mosque in Côte-des-Neiges ran the French public school on their own, disregarding management and school board directives and Ministry of Education programs. Girls, for example, didn't have access to certain sports. Sex education was ignored. Science and technologies were downplayed, and special needs students didn't get access to resources. The teachers were originally suspended with salaries as the provincial government opened an investigation. In Quebec City, opposition parties are unanimously supporting the decision to fire them.
I'm satisfied. We don't want these teachers around our children. We don't want that kind of behavior in our schools, whether it be Bedford or elsewhere.
It was a thing to do. When you have a legal teaching certificate, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and you have to be at the height of what it means. So that was the thing to do.
The fact that those teachers were fired is a very good thing. This is what had to happen.
The Montreal School Services Center says the problematic staff has since been replaced.
Il y a un avant et un après Bedford.
There's a before and after Bedford, she says, and the new team courageously put together a new action plan. The union representing the 11 teachers did not comment today's decision, but it did mention that the teachers do have the right to appeal the ruling, meaning that the case is not fully closed for now. Stéphane Giroux, CTV News.
An arrest warrant has been issued for a suspect in the fatal shooting of Charalambos Bobby the Greek Theologou. The SQ has issued an arrest warrant for Denis Beaupré. He is a 54-year-old Laval man who has not been seen since last October, just days after the shooting. Theologou was killed in a Starbucks in Chaumedy, Laval. 2 other people were injured in the incident. Officials confirm the murder is linked to organized crime. Anyone with information is asked to call the SQ. An Italian court has ordered a new extradition hearing for Dave Turmel, a key figure in Quebec organized crime. Turmel's lawyer said her client successfully appealed an extradition order to Canada. Turmel was arrested in Italy last year after a long search by authorities. He will remain detained inside a prison in Rome. Turmel is accused of being the leader of Blood Family Mafia criminal gang. Police say the gang has been involved in a turf war with the Hells Angels. Police have made an arrest in a cold case. They arrested a 42-year-old man for a murder in LaSalle 19 years ago. A 24-year-old man was stabbed to death in his car in February 2007. James Gould now faces first-degree murder charges in the case. Gould is already serving time at the Drummondville Penitentiary in connection with another killing. Anyone with information on the case is asked to call 911. And the QR code on your screen will take you to our website that looks at dozens of cold cases in Montreal. They include a photo gallery with information on the cases. PQ leader Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon says he believes officials in Ottawa could be spying on the Quebec separatist movement. And he mentions the late Claude Morin, the former PQ minister who was later found to be an informant for the RCMP. Saint-Pierre Plamondon says he doesn't bring his phone into certain meetings.
Historically, the federal government has spied and made a lot of illegal and unethical moves to have a surveillance over the Parti Québécois. And it's been done in each decade. So what I said is, I don't have the means to verify any of those facts as of today. But given the history, constant history of illegal and unjustifiable moves by the federal government, I need to assume that it might happen as well today, because as well as of new technologies that make it much more easier.
The PQ is promising to hold a third referendum in its first mandate if the party returns to power this fall. A popular immigration program in Quebec is coming back. Premier Christine Fréchette says she will bring back what's known as the PEC, the fast-track immigration program. Quebec Solidaire wants it done before the end of the spring session. Sweeta Rassi reports.
Quebec Solidaire urged the CAQ to stop stalling and finally bring back the PEC.
Every single day there are Quebecers being impacted. Their workers, their students, which permits expires. It's been the same for the last year since the PEC closure.
The program provided international students and temporary foreign workers a pathway to permanent residency, but it was scrapped in November last year under former Immigration Minister Jean-François Roberge. What replaced it was a skilled selection worker program, also known as the PSTQ, which prioritizes French and favors applicants who already got their degree in Quebec. But there was a significant pushback, with calls that the CAQ government implement a grandfather clause. During her campaign run for the party leadership, Premier Christine Fréchette promised to bring back the PEC for 2 years, but no date was set.
Que la Première ministre s'est engagée à réactiver le programme de l'expérience québécoise.
The opposition party tabled a motion at the National Assembly, calling on the province to bring back the program no later than June 12th, and it was adopted.
We've been waiting for a date, for weeks now, for months now, and now we know that it's going to happen within the next weeks.
For the co-presidents of the Quebec Immigration Lawyers Association, there is some confusion. Yves Martineau says the CAQ made 2 promises with 2 different objectives, like reinstating the PEC as well as keeping immigration numbers capped.
Because let's remember that Christine Fréchette promised that she will reopen the PEC, but she also promised that she will maintain the objectives of 29,000 economic immigrants per year. Mathematics don't add up. It is mathematically impossible to maintain the number of new CSQ under the current program, the PSTQ, and add up the PEC and still meet this 29,000 threshold. So there has to be some ways to cut people off.
And while not everyone agreed with the motion, including members of the Parti Québécois, groups like the Quebec Student Union say they are extremely happy that the peck will be coming back. Sweet Rassi, CTV News, Quebec City.
There will soon be a new clinic dedicated to women's health in Le Quartier 1030 in Brossard. Officials say the clinic will bring issues of prevention, research, and training under one roof. And they say this will allow for a more comprehensive treatment of women's physical and psychological needs.
Every decision that we've been making over the course of the last 2 mandates was to make sure that the citizens who choose to live here have access to the best quality of services. The biology of women is different. So what the doctor is starting here with all of the players involved is to create an ecosystem where the woman she comes, whether she knows what's wrong or not, whether there is anything wrong or not, we look at her health in all facets. It's not just physical health, it's mental health.
Still to come, it's not easy finding an apartment if you have a pet. Just how many landlords don't accept animals? Find out after the break. Moving season is always a problem for people with pets. Less than half of the places listed for rent accept pets. A new Léger poll found that of the nearly 200 rental ads in March, only 44% were listed as available for people with pets. The SPCA says 620 animals were brought in last year because their owners could not keep them after a move.
The Housing Tribunal found that no pet clauses are essentially contrary to tenants' fundamental rights as protected by the Quebec Charter of Human Rights and Freedoms. We now know that the landlord in that case is seeking leave to appeal, so possibly the case will end up in front of a higher court, and then we'll see exactly if that first instance decision is confirmed, in which case that will have a huge impact. It will bind future decision makers at the Housing Tribunal to find that no pet clauses are contrary to law.
CTV News asked the Défends-toi tenants' rights organization for comment, but did not hear back by deadline, and the Quebec Landlords Association did not have anyone available to speak to us. CAA Quebec has released its annual list of the worst roads in the province as chosen by drivers. And not a single street in the Montreal area is in the top 10. Gatineau leads with 4 roads in the top 5. CAA, meanwhile, has its own list of the most dangerous roads in each region. For the Montreal area, they include Notre-Dame East, Sherbrooke, and the Boulevard.
Our flat tire services in January was at one point plus 75% year over year for Montreal. And when we look at the data from starting January 1st up to April 30th, it's actually plus 26% of flat tire services for the Montreal Island only. So we do feel that was the epicenter of flat tires this year, and it is to us a testament of about how bad the roads were in the city this year.
We have more on our website, ctvnewsmontreal.ca. Ticks are already active in the Ottawa area, and that brings a concern for Lyme disease. But there are ways to protect yourself. Peter Sperling reports.
After a walk in the woods, Tracy Parks checks for ticks. A threat that can hit closer to home, too.
I thought my nicely manicured yard was safe. I was wrong.
Just recently, she found ticks on her dogs, herself, and family. A first for her.
In 55 years, I have never, ever had a tick.
Ticks can carry Lyme disease, and while the ones that bit her didn't, she's still not letting her guard down.
It is a concern just for individuals to be aware of the case that there is unfortunately Lyme disease that is located in the Ottawa region.
Ottawa Public Health says it's already seeing concern and questions about tick bites and Lyme disease this season.
The longer a tick is attached to someone's body, the greater the chance that if it has the Lyme disease bacteria, that it could transmit it to the individual.
If you do find one on you, OPH says to remove it as soon as possible.
To either take some needle nose tweezers and really go and try to remove the head gently, very slowly. Don't pull it all out at once because you risk decapitating the head and creating a localized infection. You can use a tick key as well. They climb upwards.
OPH recommends taking some simple steps to minimize exposure to black-legged ticks. Apply Health Canada approved insect repellent. wear long sleeves, long pants with socks tucked in, and wear light-colored clothing so spotting ticks is easier.
I literally have my hiking shoes, and then I tucked my socks into my sweatpants.
Precautions Siobhan Oxley is taking on her walk in the woods.
I've been really lucky, but I'm just like very hyper cautious.
Parks continues to take precautions, even taking an extra step.
And for the first time, and I said I would never do it, I actually had my yard sprayed for ticks and mosquitoes because they are that bad this year.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Just ahead, years after shutting down, Duncan makes a return to Canada.
Menswear provided by Ernest. Elevate your style with Ernest.
Pierre-Carl Pelado says the broadcast industry is in serious trouble, and he is again calling on Quebec and Ottawa for help. Pelado is president of Groupe TVA. He says if nothing is done, some original local shows will have to stop production to be replaced by cheaper foreign-made ones. He says high-speed internet now forces private broadcasters in Quebec to compete with programming from all over the world.
The most viewed shows in Quebec are Quebecers. This is not American broadcasting. It's about our series, it's about our lives, it's about us. And now we're facing this dramatic situation. We need to change the way that we've been operating for so many years, and therefore ask all the stakeholders of the industry, and there are many, to sit around a table. Unfortunately, it's not the first time we've been asking for it.
The U.S. coffee chain Dunkin' is planning to come back to Canada. The original chain, Dunkin' Donuts, used to have hundreds of stores nationwide. The last three locations shut down in 2018. Dunkin' has signed a deal with restaurant giant Foodtastic, which runs several chains, including Second Cup. Foodtastic plans to open hundreds of new locations across Canada, with the first stores opening within the next year.
Bringing that whole young generational fun, great liquids concept here to Canada with the support of somebody like Foodtastic, who runs 1,200 restaurants across the country, I think it's going to be a win-win situation. We're a Montreal-based company. We're Canadian, and we're going to have the support and marketing support that the franchisees need because we are based here in the country.
Weather brought to you by Gratian Scaff's 50th anniversary gift event. Get a complete second pair and sunglasses as a gift.
Well, we have a good amount of rain headed our way, plus warmer temperatures as well. But first, it was pleasant today, however, on the cooler side. So we only saw a daytime high of 14 degrees. It is another day where we are not meeting that normal daytime high of 18 degrees. No record was broken, though. And putting our futurecast into motion, we're seeing cloudy skies at this time, and we're going to hold on to that into the early morning hours. Here's a preview of the system that's going to impact Montreal around noon and pretty much throughout the day, as well as overnight as we head into our Thursday, and we'll see even more rain there. So the next couple of days will certainly be rain filled with lots of clouds as well, and not much sunshine, unfortunately. So hopefully you enjoyed the sun that we saw today. Now, in terms of how much we're expecting, I'll get to that in one moment. Overnight, we have a low of 7 degrees, right around where we should be. Tomorrow morning, we hold on to a temperature of 8 until our afternoon high, which is only 11 degrees. And yes, we are expecting around 17 millimeters of rain. If we hit that, we could break a record. Obviously, I'm going to keep my eye on that, and it will be on the cooler side. Now, our longer range forecast is promising. So after we get through the 17 millimeters and the cold 11 degrees on Wednesday, we'll see another 6 on Thursday with only a high of 14 there. But come Friday, we're looking at a high of 20. We'll see some sunshine mixed in with the clouds. Saturday, also calling for a mix of sun and clouds, 24 degrees. That is downright summer-like temperatures. We could see around 1 millimeter of rain overnight. Sunday, we're calling for 23 degrees and a mix of sun and clouds. Monday, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies, a high of 21, so still holding on to warmer than seasonal temperatures from the weekend. We could see around 4 millimeters of rain in the evening. And then on Tuesday, another 2 millimeters of rain and 26 degrees, hovering just around 30. Something to look forward to.
Well, that's it for us. For the latest news, you can listen to the Andrew Carter Morning Show at 5 on CJAD 800. Of course, you can always head to our website, ctvnewsmontreal.ca, for more coverage. Have a great night.